Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
It's a quest. It's a quest for fun.
Well, The Rock says, why don't we just cut right to the chase?
Okay, now he wants to get together. Well, he wants to talk.
I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
It's showtime, folks!
What are you?
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to And I Quote, the weekly show where we introduce you to content creators of all shapes and sizes. Join us from any and all corners of the nerd universe. We find out more about them and also find out what projects they have planned for the future. I am your host, Ryan of Nerd Culture, and our guest this week is comic book writer and artist extraordinaire. Please welcome L.A. Keim. Lucas, welcome to the program. How are you?
I am very well. Down under. It's great here. It's nice and sunny. Beautiful day.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you so much for being with us. We do appreciate it. Now, to start things off, what were some of the first comic books you remember reading growing up?
Oh, actually, it was a Phantom. Like in the end of the newspapers, I used to love the Phantom series and all the old X-Men. And then I kind of stopped reading comics for a long time, and I got more into film. And I've watched more films than I have read comic books. I'm getting back into comic books now, as you can see in the background. There, all my comic books. I need more. But yeah, so probably the Phantom series. They were really, really good when I was a kid. Yeah, I don't read much of them now. I don't know if they're still going, but yeah, they were great.
Oh wow! Now, just out of curiosity, is this the same Phantom that I'm thinking of, known as the Ghost Who Walks and wears a purple suit and a mask?
That's the one. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Have you seen? Yeah, I believe so. Have you seen the movie adaptation, The Phantom, with Billy Zane from the '90s?
That was so underrated. I love that movie. It was well done for its time. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, I really dig that movie. Yeah.
Well, wow. I mean, he is Billy Zane. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, it was a good movie. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
If I watched it now, I'd probably go, this is really cheesy. But back then, I remember loving it as a kid. Yeah, that's good.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, same thing with me. I actually remember watching it growing up as well, and I really enjoyed it. But then I look back on it now, and I'm thinking, not quite as good as some of the other comic book films based on, maybe not so much, well-known properties, whether it's in the Marvel or DC side of things. But at the same time, Billy Zane, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Treat Williams, I mean, a really accomplished some of those members of the cast were young, up and coming at the time. I mean, Christy Swanson, for Pete's sake, playing the love interest. I mean, she was, just saying, quite pretty in those films, just saying.
Yeah.
But man, that's amazing. I went to my LCS local comic shop a few weeks ago. I actually found the first issue of The Phantom, which at the time when it was published by, I believe it was DC Comics.
Oh, wow.
So I actually found that, and I bought it, and I'm thinking to myself, my gosh, I can't wait. I haven't read it yet, but I look forward to reading it as I progress.
Wow, that's insane. How much was that worth?
I'm not sure how much it's worth, but I do remember that I got it. Actually, I take that back. I didn't get it at my LCS. I got it at a comic book store outside of my state of Maryland, here in Maryland, USA. I got it from a comic shop in Florida.
Yeah.
In Florida, because Florida has this comic book shop that I watch the Facebook Live sales for. It's actually called Famous Faces and Funnies, which is the name of the comic book store, and it's located in West Melbourne, Florida, in the U.S. It's a great comic shop. It's got millions upon millions of different things, whether it's comics, toys, collectibles, manga, like all kinds of stuff. It's a really, really good shop. If you're ever here in the States and you go down to the Sunshine State of Florida, you should visit West Melbourne and check out Famous Faces and Funnies. Rick Shea and his crew, they are dynamite.
Sounds like heaven. Sounds like comic book heaven.
I think it is. And I don't even live there. I haven't even been to this place yet. I've only seen, footage and videos and tours of it through Instagram and other social media channels. But it is quite amazing. Anyhow, just to give you a free plug, Famous Faces and Funnies, we know you're watching. We love you guys. So The Phantom, great pick, man. The Ghost Who Walks. I totally dig it. Totally dig it. Any comic book writers or artists stick out to you as some of your favorites?
Not that I can think of, no. No, not off the top of my head. I love all comic books. I like writers that take risks, for starters. I'm getting more into indie comics now, just because I find they're taking more risks in the industry. But But yeah, I can't think of any off the top of my head. But if I saw the book, yeah, I love that book. I love that writer, but I couldn't think of the actual name of the writer because I suck with names.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
Which is bad. I should have guessed no more names. But yeah, no. If I see a book and it takes risks, it takes you out of your comfort zone. I think it's very important for a writer.
Yes.
To do with their readers. Yeah, then I'll dig that. I'll dig that book and I'll dig that writer. But yeah.
Okay, that's fair. That's completely fair. If you think of anything later on during this show, feel free to let us know. There's no problem at all. What would you say outside of the Phantom? Outside of the Phantom, are there any other favorite comic book based movies or TV series that you enjoy, whether they be past or present?
Oh, definitely the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But like, I think everyone loves them. I know a few people that hate them. But they're weird people. But yeah, so. No, probably the Cinematic Universe. Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think, has just done so well. Like, there's had a few misses, but mostly have been hits, which is great to me. So, yeah, no, that one definitely. Love that series. Love the whole franchise, yeah.
Sure,
DC kind of hit and miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a mixed bag. I'll give you that. Any specific movies stand out to you as being some of your favorites, whether it be a Batman film, an Iron Man installment, or maybe Avengers Infinity War? You know, I'm just wondering, are there any specific titles that stand out to you a little bit more so than others?
Endgame would have to be. Endgame was really one of those movies that just was a wow factor for me. I loved Endgame, but I don't think Endgame would be what it was without everything that came before it and led up to it. So I can't say Endgame's my favorite franchise movie because I was like, Endgame wouldn't be that great if there wasn't that massive lead up for like however many years it was. So, but yeah, definitely Endgame. I watched that several times in cinemas. I just couldn't get enough of it.
Oof. Yeah. I mean, the war sequence at the very end, Cap on your left, and then all the portals open up and all 50,000 Marvel characters just storm through. And then all of a sudden, Thanos is thinking to himself, hey, I got an army back here, but where did all these people come from? And then all of a sudden it's like, and then Cap drops the line that we've been waiting over 10 years for, Avengers Assemble, and then they just go. Everything just goes. Yeah, it's just an explosion of epic warfare. That's what that was.
Exactly, yeah, that's what I loved about it. Yeah, it was just, I pretty much went through again just to see that ending on big screen. I wanted to see that ending again, and every time I saw it, it was still amazing. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, theaters all around the world, let's be honest here, were losing their minds during certain parts of that film.
Yes. Yeah, it was great.
I'm sure that was the case. I'm pretty sure I'm not wrong on this, but if you think differently, let us know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And make sure you are sharing this video with all 200 of your closest friends because they're gonna like the way they look after watching this video. I guarantee it. So when did you, Lucas, decide to become a comic writer and artist? When did you decide to do it?
I'm actually not an artist. I'm just a writer. I do I look concept art for my work and I give that to the artist. But the backstory is I did a lot of film. So I worked in film, just directing here and there, writing a few scripts. They were just like short films. Mm-hmm. Looking back, they were really bad short films, but I love making stories. I love telling stories. Always wanted to be a film director. And then when I had like so many scripts written, like film scripts written, and I was like, all of these will never get made in Australia because our industry is just not that big. We don't do high budget films, action movies, that sort of stuff in Australia, which is sad. And I knew I need a Hollywood backing of some sort. And I was like, well, to get it into a Hollywood studio, that's even harder. It's like just so much talent out there. And then a friend of mine said, why don't you just run into the comic books and graphic novels? And I did that, and I had to like change them all from screenplay to comic book, which was a massive learning curve. But it worked out so well. And I've never looked back since. Like, definitely I'll still do screenplays, but writing comic books, I think, has given me some freedom that writing screenplays never would. And I can take risks where I couldn't with screenplays. Yeah, I love that. So that's where it came from, pretty much doing film, then moving to comic book scripts, sorry.
No, I got you. Talk about a heck of a transition. What would you say are some of the rewards about being a comic book writer? What do you think?
The fact that they're not so strict on ratings, and you can really push yourself and put some, like, as you may know, our stories do have some content in it that probably wouldn't be seen in movies. But yeah, and they get more gritty as they go on. But definitely the fact that we're allowed that freedom to really push the story and dive into something very dark and deep and sinister without having people going, oh, you can't put that in because audience may not accept it and may get this rating unless people see it. I was like, comic book readers love that stuff. Why would I take that out? I leave in there because we know they love it. So yeah, we got an audience and they love it, so they can keep on doing it. And I think that freedom to do what we want is great. And that's why we are self-publishers also.
Oh, there you go. Fair enough. On the flip side of things, though, what would you say are some of the biggest challenges about being a comic book writer?
Probably money, budget, definitely. It does cost a lot of money to make comics, especially when you're not doing your own artwork. You really struggle to try and pay those artists what they're worth, and they are worth what they are because they're amazing what they do. Pretty much, I think the main thing for me is just the fact it takes so long to get the book out there for the audience to see it. Like, I want all my books out there. I want the audience to be loving and talking about it and reading what happens next. I don't like having my audience wait, but to make something great, you have to wait a bit for it to happen. So definitely that, I think, is the waiting process between issues, is big for me.
Oh, yeah, I can certainly understand that. Once again, we're talking with L.A. Keim of Free Fall Comics here on And I Quote. Make sure you're sharing this video with all 300 of your closest friends. They're going to like the way they look after watching this video. I guarantee it. Now, have there been any special memories for you from being at conventions, whether you're there as an attendee or whether you're there as a vendor selling your comics?
I don't go to as many as I should. We don't actually have a lot in Australia. We do, but they have been off for the last few years because of COVID.
Right.
Yeah, but no, not really. I've been just going there and seeing all the cosplayers. Like, I think that's amazing. That's always been fun for me, and just having everyone really get involved in it, sort of thing. I love that, but I can't think of any memories off the top of my head that really stood out to me. There was one we went to where I went with a group of friends and we stayed in a hotel, and I wasn't meant to go as a cosplayer, but he had just so many outfits. He's like, just wear one. I'm like, oh, I really don't want to wear it. I think it was Deadshot.
Oh, wow.
So he had it was a good costume. It was an expensive costume. Like, don't break it. It's expensive.
Sure.
I was like, okay, so I wore his costume, and that day, just the amount of attention I got was overwhelming. I had people going, can I go photo of you? I was like, I was not expecting this much attention. As a first time I ever did cosplaying, and just kids, can I get a photo of you? Parents oh, my kid wants a photo with you. And I was like, I don't know much about Deadshot, but yeah, go for it. I wasn't big on Deadshot at the time. But yeah, no, I loved it. It was a great experience. It was so hot in that outfit. I was sweating, and I was happy to take it out at the end of the day. But that memory of people really wanting to have photos of you taken and being popular as a character was just fun for me. It was a good experience.
Oh my goodness, what a debut with a legendary DC character by the name of Deadshot. My goodness. Yeah. Man, do you once eventually, things reopen and things get back underway, are you planning on going to more events and dressing up as other characters other than Deadshot, or is that or was dressing up as Deadshot at that one particular show just a one-time thing? Yeah, it was just random because everyone was going to something and he just had a whole bag full of costumes, and it was like, you can't come with up if you're not going to dress up. And I was like, this outfit looks cool. I like Deadshot. Throw me Deadshot. And I dressed up, and it was just down the road. So we walked down the road in costume in the city. But yeah, no, I probably would. I might dress up again. It was fun. I'd like to dress up as one of my own characters eventually. Put myself in my own comic book and do that. But yeah, we definitely want to go to conventions. Now we have we're going to have printed books, and we want to start vending and start selling our books there. So it'd be a good experience when that happens. Oh, absolutely. It's a great experience. I mean, I've been going to conventions for many years now. And let me tell you, it's a blast, especially when you can connect with certain people on a certain level, and then they're a fan of the same characters that you are, or they're a fan of the work that you're putting out, whether it's comic books, whether it's books or anything of the sort, because the vendors, or should I say vendors or artists alley, is one of the biggest reasons why my friends and we like to go to conventions, because you never know how many talented creators there are out there, and they're everywhere. They're not just here. I always scout out the indie vendors, and I go straight to indie vendors and talk to them and see what they're all about. But yeah, they're the most exciting thing for me. There's a lot of them out there, and I hope that you who may be listening or watching this do go out and support your local comic shops, your indie creators of all kinds, because there's so many out there in the world, and there are so many out there who are looking to have people share their stuff, share their posts, because sharing is caring. It is. It really, really is. So you got to keep that in mind as we go along. Now, you have a project that is going well, but you also have a new Kickstarter that's coming up. So to give you who may be watching or even listening to this a little bit of context of what we're talking about, take a look at this.
What's up? I'm Brizey.
I'm Lucas.
We're from Fall Comics!
In case you haven't heard, In case you haven't heard, we're launching Kickstarter in March.
Which means you can get your hands on a printed copy of Roundhouse Hooligans just like this. Not this one, this is mine. You'll get one of your own, for you.
Now let's hear what an unbiased fan has to say about the book.
Hi, I'm Marvin, and I was lucky enough to get my hands on an early copy of Roundhouse Hooligans. And oh boy, are you in for the ride of your life. It's got action, drama, romance, all wrapped up in a compelling story. Plus once or twice, pretty sure I saw some titties.
Oh yeah! Thanks, Marvin.
Thank you, Lucas.
That's enough from us. Here's our Kickstarter video.
It's strange how something so amazing, so good, can end so quickly. Just when you think everything is going okay for the first time in your life, your world comes crashing down around you, and everything that once put a smile on your face disappears within seconds. But my nightmare did not end there, and sadly, this was just the beginning of what was still to come.
I'm Marvin, and I endorse this product. Are we done? Let's get off camera. That's a wrap. Okay. Where's my $50?
Where's my $50? Well, that's one way to end a video. So
yeah, that was like done in the morning, and we just had some fun with it. Like, how can we do something different? We try to be serious about it, as like us trying to be serious about it just didn't go down well. Like, let's be silly and make it look silly on purpose. So we went all out and yeah, had some fun with it. Yeah, that's good. A lot of fun.
There's definitely some good one-liners in there. So Roundhouse Hooligans, how did this all come about, and what can we look forward to when the Kickstarter drops?
Okay, so Roundhouse Hooligans was, once again, it was actually a TV series I wrote when I was writing screenplays. It was several years ago. I think it might have been before Netflix, but when Netflix kind of came out, like, it was really aimed for that sort of platform, or like Prime, something like that. Whereas like gritty, good TV series, dark, dramatic. But yeah, and then after that, that's actually the first screenplay I started writing as a comic series, because it just worked well. And then we actually had it in development a while ago with another artist. I went through all the stuff at the time, and I got to a point where my writing just evolved so much. So he scrapped it, went back and rewrote it with a more mature look and style. And yeah, so it's just a good, dark, we call it drama punk. That's the genre we gave it, because it's kind of like teenage drama, but also has a lot of action and romance and stuff involved in it. But yeah, definitely. It's definitely a story of the underdogs and the outcasts of the world. I think they're going to really love it, sort of thing. But yeah. As for the Kickstarter, we have heaps coming. We actually have a guy working on a Kickstarter with us. Darren Close is amazing. Nice. Yeah, he's also doing lettering, so he's good friend. But yeah, it's going to have your issue 1, your issue 2. We'll have a adults only cover, which is going to be shown soon, because apparently people love them. So we put that up there as an included sketches by Riccardo Ficini, our artist. Yeah, there's going to be.
I mean, this cover right here, this next one that we're showing right here, right now, looks pretty cool.
This is issue 2.
This is issue 2. Okay.
This is issue 2. Yeah, the other one was issue 1. This is issue 2. Yeah.
Oh, it looks good.
Yeah. Great artist. Great artwork.
Definitely conveys a little bit of, seriousness along with, hey, you get in my face, there's going to be some serious problems, with certain characters on the cover here. I'm just interpreting. If you may be listening to this, I'm just giving you a basic context here. You got guy nodding his head. You got a woman who's, kind of thinking, what's my next move? And another one's pulling a gun thinking, I got a problem. I better fix this.
Yeah. Always need a good cop character. Cop characters are great.
They are, aren't they? Whether they be human or otherwise, that's, it's one of those things. But yeah, congratulations on Roundhouse Hooligans. Looks very, very cool. I know this word gets overused a lot, but definitely looks cool. Looks vibrant. I see a lot of vibrant colors thrown in the mix for good measure. And hey, maybe if this thing becomes later on adapted as a film or TV series, you think you're going to throw in some 80s pop music, maybe some In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, look.
Sorry, I was thinking of a Miami Vice vibe.
Anything's possible. I definitely think it'd have an 80s vibe to it. 80s, 90s vibe to it for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so then again, Phil Collins wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility.
It could work. Yeah, definitely.
Phil Collins. There you go. Nothing wrong with that. So granted, Phil Collins is a big fish. Some of the best music ever put together. At least in my opinion. But that's amazing. Roundhouse Hooligans. You got a mixture of all kinds of stuff and the characters, and oh my gosh, man. So if this thing were later on, somewhere down the line, if it were adapted as a film or TV series, would you prefer it be a TV series, or would you prefer it be a film? And if so, hypothetically speaking, who would you cast in certain roles, and who would you want to direct it?
So the TV series, it'd definitely be a TV series. Actually, when I was making, I was like, this would be a good animated series, like a good adult family animated series. There's a lot of them coming out, and I was like, probably a TV series, like a real live TV series, would probably work more. As for director, like Robert Rodriguez and Quentin was great when I was growing up, so I definitely added that grindhouse vibe to it. Robert Rodriguez, even just producing it would be great. Having a say in it would be like a dream come true. Director, I couldn't think of any director. I'd like to get like a up and coming director to take control of it. If not myself, like I'd do it for sure. With little skill I have. But yeah, and as for actors, it'd be so hard I can't think of any actors off the top of my head. No, I can't think of any actors that I really want to play the parts, because the characters are just so different and they're so unique. To find an actor who can play the part, I'd really have to try to be that character, because the characters are so fun. There's so much deepness to each character involved in the story. But yeah, so I couldn't tell you any actor off the top of my head, and I don't want to go, oh yeah, I'd really want this actor. Then I was like, I wouldn't get the actor and disappoint myself. So yeah, anyone. I'd like someone else to take control and go, I'll find the actors for you.
Right, of course. A casting director in that case.
Casting director, exactly, yeah.
Yeah. They do have casting directors for that. And they got something for this, and they have something for that. And all these different positions can be filled almost easily. So
yeah. No, I'd be open to anyone who can play the part. I have no I'd like to have some up and coming actors. Would be great. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Sure.
Just out of curiosity, are there any Australian actors or actresses that come to mind that you think could potentially fulfill these roles?
No.
Anyone in your own backyard?
Anyone what? Sorry.
Anyone in your own backyard? Here in Australia, where you are now?
No, not I can think of. No big actors in Australia. Yeah, I'm sure there's some characters on Home and Away or Neighbours that could definitely pull it off, but I don't watch those shows, so it's hard for me to tell. They're big dramas in Australia, in case you don't know.
That's okay, no problem. Don't just having a little fun here, even though we're putting you on the spot. Once again, we're talking with L.A. Keim of Fall Comics. Make sure you're sharing this video with all 600 of your closest friends. You're gonna like the way they look after watching this video. Guarantee it. Talking about Hollywood Hooligans here. My goodness gracious. Well, good luck with this Kickstarter. Good luck with the series, everything that goes into it, everything that's about to come. We wish you all the best of luck. Now, this episode of, and I quote, and every episode, I should say, more so of, and I quote, is indeed, I should say, powered by Pod Decks. Now, Pod Decks are the hottest new tool for podcasters looking to have more meaningful conversations or gamify their podcasts. If they shuffle up the cards, you ask a question, you let the content roll. Get yours today at poddex.com and make sure you use that promo code NERDCULTURE, all one word, to get 10% off your order. You're not going to want to miss out on that opportunity, if I do say so myself. So Lucas, if you could hire any wedding singer, who would you choose and what song would you want them to play?
Whoa. Wow. Let's Get Married is a good song. I've always loved that song by Jagged Edge. Like them playing would be, yeah, I've always liked that song. It's a cool song.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd go straight off the top of my head. I'd choose that one.
Interesting. I like it a lot. So what was one thing that you begged your parents for as a kid and they finally gave it to you?
Oh, beg much. No, I can't think of anything as a kid I really begged for. I wasn't the one to beg for things. Next.
Okay, no, that's fine. No problem at all. It's no worries here. If you were a bartender, which famous person would you like to serve?
Robert Rodriguez.
Going back to your friendly neighborhood director of the Spy Kids and the Grindhouse films, are we?
Exactly. Yep.
And he's also done a lot of stuff with Star Wars recently with the Book of Boba Fett. So,
yeah. Dude's legend.
The guy's kind of making a killing right now. No pun intended, Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah,
you like to kill a lot of people in your films. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Poof. Did you ever see Machete? My gosh.
It was fun. That's all it was.
I'll be honest with you. A family member and I made the mistake of seeing that in theaters because I actually thought it was going to be good, and I walked out of the theater thinking that was so gross and grotesque. I never want to see that film again.
Yeah.
So that was just me. I can't speak for everybody. That's just.
I've got the whole collection. I loved it for what it was. I knew it was going to be exploitation. It's meant to be dark, gritty, dramatic, and violent. That's like what is. Simple story.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we like to say right on the nose. So what specific work of art do you admire the most?
Oh, specific work of art.
Could be anything.
I like art with feeling. I like dark art. Like the dark kind of art I like. I don't know why. I've always liked it, but I can't think of a name for it. But what's the story? Trying to think of it. But yeah, dark art. I kind of love that sort of stuff. But yeah, anything dark and vibrant is what I like, if that makes sense.
Okay. When you mean by dark, would that potentially go into the Gothic realm or not so Gothic?
That's a word. Gothic realm. Yeah.
Okay. So that's kind of one of the first things that came to my mind when you mentioned something about the darkness of art or dark, somewhat of dark art kind of work. So
yeah. Gothic for sure. Gothic art.
Gothic. So, well, speaking of Gothic, and you like Gothic artwork, have you read or have you seen the original film from the 90s, The Crow?
I think a very long time ago. Very, very long time ago. And not soon enough to remember. So no.
Oh, that's okay. You might want to give it a rewatch. The Crow actually is pretty good.
Yeah.
Written by, the comic book series is written by James O'Barr. So if you ever get a chance to read that, when you add that to your comic book reading list, feel free to write this down. So there you have it. I'm just throwing that out there as a for instance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually met James O'Barr at a Comic-Con. I had him sign my The Crow Blu-ray. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, it's a good film too. It still holds up 25 plus years later in existence. Good Lord. Time flies. Whew. So what do you do specifically when you want to get out of your own head?
What do I do? Well, for me, I think of getting my own head is like if I'm in a creative block, which we do as creators, we have them. So that's when I want to get out of my own head to have a break. Gym. I love the gym. Always go to the gym a lot. Just going for a walk. Doing something fun and different, way out of my comfort zone. Like once I was just like I just needed a spark, so I just went to the theme park and just went on a roller coaster. Or like once I went skydiving, just to really, it's like,
that's definitely one way to get out of your own head.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, I think I need to do something outside my comfort zone. Really, gives me motivation to keep on going, and
that's taking it to the extreme, brother.
Yeah. I love skydiving.
Jumping out of a perfectly good airplane.
Yeah. They're actually not perfectly good. When you're up there, they shake a lot. So you kind of
that's just an expression that people.
Yeah.
I'm just repeating what they said, but at the same time, I know I've seen footage of people about ready to go skydiving. You see that it's getting a little jumpy. There's a bit of turbulence. As soon as they open the door and the wind's coming in, or the air is coming in, excuse me, you're thinking to yourself, "Good Lord, this thing is."
Yeah, no, it's crazy fun. But yeah.
Wow. And did you do this by yourself? Or did you go with friends?
I did by myself.
Wow, that's
yeah.
That
Yeah,
takes a lot. That takes a lot of
myself.
guts.
I didn't jump out by myself. Had someone help me out that part. But yeah, I did go by myself. But, yeah.
That takes a lot of guts, Lucas. That's
yeah.
Good Lord, man. You want to talk about taking risks? That's taking things definitely to the extreme in one way, shape, or form or another. Good Lord Almighty. But that's just me. So you said that you're starting to get back into, or maybe you're trying to read all these different comics. You said in the background of your studio you got some comic books of your own. Are you looking forward to adding more as you go on? And if so, are there any particular kinds of comics you're looking for, or any kind of adventures you're looking to read or dive into as a somewhat of a new comic book reader?
I've actually recently backed a lot of indie Kickstarter campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't wait to get them into my hands. One of them being Fractured Shards, which looks amazing. Love that one. I love Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk's always cool. So that was Cyberpunk. Fractured Shard. Hopefully I get it soon. I'd love to read that one. But yeah, I think I'm definitely going down the indie area and just like going through Kickstarter, finding what's a good indie project that I really love and backing it and getting at. So yeah, anything indie, I think that is where I'm going to be reading from now on. I'll stay away from the mainstream stuff.
Whatever works for you, whatever you enjoy, you go ahead and do it. Support indie creators of all shapes and sizes. We encourage that here as well as many other places on the interwebs. And if there's anything we know about the interwebs, is that there is no shortage of Kickstarter campaigns.
Yeah,
my friend. There are hundreds of thousands, millions of Kickstarter campaigns going on in the world right now. So, I mean, the field is, what am I trying to say here? The field is wide open. Take your pick.
Yeah. Kickstarter's been a blessing for indie creators. Like, it's just amazing. Yeah. And like the fact that indie creators can really get themselves out there on Kickstarter and get projects funded, because as I said, projects aren't cheap to make. They cost money, and indie creators don't have the backing of Marvel, DC, or any of those. It's all like usually someone in their own house just writing, creating, trying to get that story out there, spending a lot of money and spending a lot of time, and to have a platform where they can fund it and get it out there and get more people seeing it and get people get the world to read their stories. I think it's amazing. And yeah,
I will drink to that. Well, we want to take this opportunity to thank L.A. Keim of Free Fall Comics for being our guest this week on And I Quote. Lucas, anything you have coming up, and where can the person watching or listening to this find you on social media and everything you have coming up? What do you got?
So we have a Kickstarter coming up. I believe it's in 9 days now. We're posting that. We have Free Fall Comics on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can follow us there. We will have YouTube channel coming very soon. Hopefully by the end of the year. And yeah, we do have another project coming out next year, which is a totally different from Roundhouse Hooligans. It'll be a psychological drama. So yeah, wait for that. That's gonna be intense. We have an award-winning artist on that one, so it's gonna be fun to put out there. But yeah, we can't say too much about it right now. It's all secret, top secret stuff. But definitely Roundhouse Hooligans is gonna be a fun ride. It's gonna be a long ride, but it'll be a fun ride.
A lot of wonderful things coming down the line. Well, congratulations to you, and we wish you and your team the best of luck with all the stuff that's coming down the line. And thank you for being with us. Once again, my name is Ryan of Nerd Culture. You can follow us on all forms of social media simply at It's Nerd Culture. New videos go up on our YouTube channel each and every week. And once again, thank you to our friends over at Poddex. And also, we want to take this opportunity to thank our new sponsor, Rad Bear. Check out theradbear.com for the best nerd brand, the best nerd swag in the world. Use that promo code NERDCULTURE10, all one word, for 10% off your order. They got tons of shirts, hoodies, hats, all kinds of nerd merch, nerd swag, whether it's Power Rangers, The Never Ending Story, whether it's anime or Star Wars, anything your nerdy heart desires. Check them out, the best nerd brand. Go to theradbear.com for all that cool, ridiculously cool looking stuff, if I do say so myself. And in the goodness gracious, in the meantime, be safe, be strong, stay healthy, stay safe, all that kind of jazz. And remember, support indie creators of all shapes and sizes. And life is better when reading. Take a look.
Sure.
The original intention of the film was just for my personal use, but I thought with it being such a unique thing that I'd like to offer it to anybody who wants to see it. On the first visit, Jack took us into his another room, separate room, and there were these brown parcels full of artwork piled up, and he said to me, "You draw like I do." We were in the studio for 5 hours, you know, it was fantastic, and there's this, he's got this desk, and everything he's ever drawn has come from this desk, and then I would just go with the flow, and that's what this film is about. It's just a unique film of him.
He says, "I beat you." He says, "They say we came in under the dead heat." He says, "That's not true because I beat you." And the American said, "Well," he says, "if you like to think so," he says, "but I know the real story." He says, I know I clearly won that one." Well, Joe is 6'3", and I was a runt, from the Lower East Side. And being Joe's partner was an advantage to me because Joe was believable, you know. They would talk to Joe, and the Goodman brothers would get to know him. Martin Goodman owned Marvel at that time. He went to his mother and he says, "Look, Jackie got a job drawing." He says, "They're paying him for it. They're paying him money for drawing." He says, "Suppose I go with Jackie." He says, and he says, "They'll pay me money." He says, "I'll draw and they'll pay me money." He said, "I'll give the money to you," which we did. We gave it all to our mothers. They called me from Nassau. You know, I lived in Long Island. And they say, "Would you like to come down and draw these guys in training?" I swear, this is not a story. And I said, "Yes, of course, I'd love to come down."